Well, there's a water source just right back there that I didn't need, but there was a older woman there whose trail name is Heart Rock, and so talked to her for a few minutes. She's pretty interesting. Started doing this hike this year. Well, I guess she's been one of those people trying to, pick off sections of the PCT, and after she finishes this whole section, she'll be done with California. She's already done with Oregon. She's done with half of Washington, so she's almost done. But she's quite a bit older than I am, and she's out by herself. She was with a friend earlier this year, and they were hiking a big section, and her friend broke her leg. So she's just out doing this by herself, and she is, I guess, she was kind of making fun of her age by saying, she hopes she finishes this. She's run out of time. So anyway, wish her luck. And this morning's gone pretty well. I tell you, I don't know what it is. It's so cool in the shade. It is so hot in the sun. And it's cooler today than it was yesterday and the day before. I get in the sun and I barely can even move. I think I'm just done. But mostly it's been in the shade. I took 2 liters of water with me this morning when I left and had 10 miles to get to my water source. And I got there and still had a whole liter of water left. So I'm gonna go another 3 miles. Probably get some water. Well, I'll definitely get water there because that's the last water for a long ways. But anyway, I guess my point is that, I'm doing pretty well this morning and getting close, getting really close, At the end of my day today, I'll basically just have 1 day left, 1 day of hiking. Now, I will be on the trail just a little bit the very next day, so that'll really be my last day. But that's only because I'll get done, I'll get almost done with hiking at towards the end of the day tomorrow. I'll be almost to the Sierra City Highway, and I'll be really grungy. There's a good water source right there. I'm just gonna take my time and really clean up and make myself halfway presentable, and then get a good night's sleep. And the next morning, then try to hitch to Reno to head out of town. But that hitch is probably not going to be super easy because there are some little roads that kind of interconnect and whatever, and it's not just a straight shot to Reno. So chances are I'll have to get at least 2 hitches to get to Reno, and then maybe even take a bus depending on where I get dropped off in Reno. So I don't think I can do all that tomorrow night after I've hiked 20 some miles. So anyway, that's kind of the plan, and then hopefully whoever picks me up will be pleased with the fact that I took a little extra time tomorrow night to clean up and smell a little better. After all the time I've been on the trail, I've seen a million of these every day, these little chipmunks. It's the first one I've been able to video. They just are fast and they disappear quick, just like that. Well, the trail is about 100 yards up that way, and I'm down here because I came down to something called Poly Seep to get water. I have never gotten water from a seep. I don't think I've ever seen a seep. Apparently it's just like this. It's kind of a boggy area. Water's just coming out of the ground, but it's not quite like a spring, or it's not running or something. So anyway, whatever, here I am. Looks nice and clear. I'm gonna just dip in, get it, and I'll be good. You know, this has been an entire day of no burn zones, and just gorgeous scenery. I mean, not only has it just been live trees, but I mean so many views like this, so many gorgeous lakes, amazing rock formations like up behind there. What a godsend this day's been, you know? And not only that, the trail's been nice. I mean, not that it hasn't been hard, but it's just, it hasn't been overgrown, you know, or totally wrecked. The temperature's been down, you know, maybe 5 degrees. Not a ton, but there's been a slight breeze all day. It's just kept it nice, and what a great way to end. You know, I don't know what tomorrow will be like. Even if tomorrow's horrible and ugly and everything, this has been a great way to end this hike. Just some amazing stuff that I did not expect. Well, the sun's starting to go behind the mountain a little bit, but I feel so good. I really don't want to stop hiking. So, I'm not. I'm probably not going to go that much further though, another mile or two. Well, I think this is going to make a beautiful tent site tonight. I'll set up right there in my shadow. Alright. I might be back in a minute to talk about something. Alright, well, I'm going to try to go to sleep here, but before I do, what I wanted to say was, I think the plan might have just changed. Since I was feeling good tonight, I hiked a little more. Instead of having to hike 21 miles to the highway tomorrow, I have to hike 14.7, which is not much. I should definitely do that by lunchtime. So, we'll have to see how I feel in the morning. If I get up on time, I mean, I'm sure I will, but whatever. I'm just, I think there's a really good chance that what I'll do is just book it to the highway and maybe try to hitch out tomorrow. So if so, that means tomorrow is my last day on the trail. It means tonight's my last night in a tent staying on the trail. My last time having dinner on the trail like I did tonight, so yeah. I don't know. I'll have to sit here and think about that a little while, but I think there's a good chance that's what'll happen, so I'll mull it over while I'm trying to fall asleep. Good night. Morning. All right, I'm ready to go this morning. Ready to make this a wonderful last day. I was kind of worried that, not worried, but just bummed that maybe my hike was going to end unceremoniously. Just hiking through a bunch of burned stuff in the heat for days and then come out on a highway and be like, hey, I'm done. But the beauty that I have seen the last couple of days, opportunities I've gotten to just enjoy and reflect on everything and remember. It's hard to remember all the great stuff just walking through burned trees day after day, but getting to see everything I've seen these last couple of days has really helped me to kind of harken back to all the stuff that I've seen throughout these months and really appreciate it. And I think when I get to the end, even though it's just a highway today, it's going to make it so much better. I'm going to really have a feeling, all-encompassing memory of everything that happened. And I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I'm very thankful for these last couple of days and these last few months. I'm just reaching the top of my last big climb. There will be no more climbing on this PCT adventure. It is all downhill from here. Whew. Well, that's what the rest of my day looks like. Zigzagging down there, curling around there. There's even some trail over there you can see. The highway's down there in the pass, I believe. So I'm just going to be hiking out here in the sun all the rest of the day, going down this mountain. So I came from back there, and that is Sierra City down there. Never had before. It's hard to make everything out, but I'm right in the middle, I think, about where the trees are is the general store. And anyway, unfortunately, I won't make it there. I'd really like to, but it's at least a couple of miles west of where the trail comes out. So, you know, I'm heading this way. I'll be going this way still for a while, and I'll end up on the highway over there. And Reno is that way. So, you know, I don't want to hitch back to Sierra City and then hitch back to Reno. So I'll just skip it. But it's kind of cool to get to have seen it one more time from above. Well, this is not what I was thinking of when I was thinking of a nice relaxing downhill hike. But I've been hiking on these broken dinner plates for off and on for past a few miles anyway, and it just makes slow going. Have to stay really hyper focused and can't look up and enjoy any scenery or anything, that's for sure, unless you want to die. So anyway, I'm getting there. Alright, let's stop and look at some scenery. Wow, that is an amazing tree. There's more of the town down there. It's kind of the extended town that's further east. Homes and the campgrounds and things like that. So anyway, alright, hallelujah. Packing some trees and on some dirt. Glad the trail didn't end that way. Beautiful down here. I can hear the highway now. It's not far. I feel like I could be in Oklahoma with these oak trees. Well, I'm walking across Highway 49 into Sierra City, and I have officially completed hiking the PCT. Woo-hoo-hoo! Well, I hope this doesn't end up being like Crater Lake. But I think it's gonna be. Been here for whatever, maybe 15 minutes, and 2 cars have come by. And of course, they didn't stop or I'd be in them. So we'll see what happens here. Well, to start this out, I'll just tell you, I'm here in Reno at a hotel. And the airport's right over there. That's where I'll be going tomorrow to head home. So, I tell you what, it's as much of this adventure, figuring out how you're going to get from one place to another, hitching and all that, as it is hiking. And I wish somehow I was able to video all of this, you know, as it was happening. But, you know, there's people and their privacy, and everything's happening too quickly. And anyway, so I just have to tell you the story. But it's always a great story, and I can never make it as great as it really is by just telling it to you. But here's what happened. So the last video you saw, I'm standing out at the Highway 49 there, trying to get a hitch to Reno, and saying that I think I just told you I'm not going to be going into Sierra City. Well, stood out there for quite a while, tried to get a hitch, couldn't get a hitch. There's no cars. I think like 4 cars came by. And so this guy finally comes by. He waves at me, pulls over into this little side street, and I think, all right, I got it. I go up there and he goes, oh, I'm here to pick up my girlfriend. She's hiking. I'm like, oh, okay, well. He said, but I'm going back to Sierra City. I could take you back there. And I said, well, that doesn't really help me. So I stood out there another 30 minutes and decided, well, maybe I'd be better off being in a town for whatever reason, I don't know. So I jumped in the car with these folks when she got back from hiking, and we went to Sierra City, which was the wrong direction. And I got there. The guy at the general store has a transportation company that works with him, and so I called them. For 50 bucks, they'll take you all the way to Reno. The lady told me she couldn't get me in for 3 days, but she could come get me in 3 days. I said, thanks, but no thanks. So I went back outside and I stuck my thumb out, and people just drove by me. And then this couple walks out of the store that I had seen walk in the store, and they said, where are you trying to get to? And I told them. They said, well, we can't get you all the way there. We can get you part of the way there, and it's a really busy street and highway up here, and people will definitely pick you up. So I jumped in the car with them, and they took me up to Sierraville, where I stood out on highway, I think it was 89. And, well, actually what happened was I got there to highway 89, they dropped me off, and I stood out there for 30 seconds, and this couple walked out to their car that was parked alongside, and I said, you know, you guys heading to Reno? And they said, well, we're going to Truckee. We'll take you there. So I went to Truckee, and once I got into Truckee, they dropped me at the bus depot, and there is no bus. I don't know why the bus schedule said there was a bus, but there wasn't a bus. But these super helpful ladies said, well, here's what you can do. They gave me several options, and one of them was a train that had left 15 minutes before I got there, supposedly. So they're looking at their schedule and everything, and they go, hang on, the train's 45 minutes late. So I got on to try to book the train, but it wouldn't let me book the train because the train had already left, right? And so I called their customer service. They got me on the train. I jumped on the train. The train brought me all the way to Reno, and here I am. And the wonderful people along the way that stopped to pick me up, these 3 different people, super nice, talked with all of them. You know, they all have great stories and what they're doing and whatever. It's just so nice to meet all of them. So nice to get help. And here I am. So, yeah, the trip is over. I might add one more video or something that just kind of tries to sum up what happened, maybe with a visual map or something of, you know, the sections that I did last year and then this year, and then what I did north and what was closed for fire and what I turned around and did coming back south and all that stuff. But otherwise, it's all over, and you know, it has been absolutely amazing, but I'm super ready to be done with it. In fact, I am wearing jeans. It feels so nice. It's the first time I've worn long pants in months, other than just my rain pants. And yeah, it's a little bit good to be back in civilization. So, all right, I'm gonna get something to eat and then start getting my stuff together to get all packed up so I can take off tomorrow, head home. Thanks for coming along with me on this whole thing.
Slowly the truth is loading. I'm weighted down with love. Snow lying deep and even, strung out and dreaming of night falling on the city. Quite something to behold. Don't it just look so pretty? Let's disappear. burning whole like fire. Down through the desperate blood, down through the trailing wire, into the leafless wood. Night falling out the city, quite something to behold. Don't it just look so pretty, this disappearing world, this disappearing